So this is my pet peeve. I can't use this for an open. That's ridiculous.
The Garage Comedian.
It's a beautiful day for a joke.
Have you ever noticed if you like someone and they have an unusual pet peeve, you'll classify them as being a little rough around the edges. But if you don't like them, they're a complete wackadoo. That guy's out of his mind. He's a complete jerk.
The jerk store called. They're running out of you.
Though sometimes rough around the edges street crosses wackadoo lane. Like years ago when I saw this woman on the news who described her brother as a bit eccentric and enjoyed non-traditional meals. Your brother is Jeffrey Dahmer. His non-traditional meals included Jessica, Andrew, and Tiffany. He's into human consumption. A non-traditional meal to me would be like a vegan, mushroom-stuffed tofu roast, not Frank's legs from next door. I have a pet peeve that involves emojis, or the misuse of them to be more specific. Like this one here. Are you crying? Are you sad? No, this one is for sleeping. How about this one? Is this person mad? Nope. That's the emoji to use to signal triumphant. And here's another. No, it does not mean that someone is dead. It's dizzy. This is to be used for dizziness.
No way!
And when these emojis come in and they're misused, I totally call the person out on that. Does that make me rough around the edges? Or maybe I'm a jerk? Perhaps I should just...
Let it go, let it go.
I have had friends tell me through the years, you know, you can be a jerk. You're not a jerk, but you can be a jerk. Whatever that means. Another pet peeve of mine, or perhaps it's just my upbringing, is birthdays. For adults, not kids. I don't really think much about that. I don't really care about those days. Anniversaries, same thing. It's not a big deal to me. I was on the phone with a friend of mine the other day. He had me on speakerphone, and his wife yelled out, "Hey Dave, 12 years ago today, we were all partying." I said, "Oh, what, you guys were married 12 years ago?" "Yeah, it's our anniversary, woo!" I said, "Okay." She said, "That's it? Okay." I said, "Cheryl, an anniversary is just a fancy way of saying, I put up with this person for 365 more days. Clear the way, I need to get to the bar. And get me a piece of cake and ice cream while we're at it. I've earned it." Hello? You guys still there? "You're a jerk," she said. No, I'm not a jerk. I can be, but I'm not one. Or so I'm told. Another pet peeve of mine is opening up a bag of chips only to discover they're half full. What a jip. And before I realized this was the norm, I called up the company on the back of the Lay's potato chips and said, "Hey, I think Kelly was a little light-handed with this bag. She didn't put enough chips in there. It's only half full." The person said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, my bag is only half full." She said, "We don't have people standing in an assembly line shoveling in chips into each bag. It's all done by weight." Weight? How do you know my weight? So the more I weigh, the less chips you put in there? That doesn't sound right. I'm going to exercise, I'm going to lose a bunch of weight, and I'm going to come back next month, and when I do and get my sour cream and onion, they're going to be filled to the top. Yeah, and if they're not, you know I'm going to call back and ask for Kelly. Another pet peeve of mine is passwords. I think this country has gone password crazy. Now, I'm not saying that some passwords aren't viable. I mean, getting into a financial institution, your e-trader account, personal medical files of people, your work, there's proprietary information there. I get that. There's definitely a need for passwords. But for my ADP time card, really? I mean, do they really believe that hackers are going to be spending their Saturday nights trying to hack into time cards all over the country? I'll show this guy. I'm going to add 30 minutes of unauthorized overtime this past Thursday for him. Don't spend it all in one place, Gary. Hey, Amy, what havoc are you wreaking over there? Oh, I just totally put this girl Stacy in for 2 hours of company closure time. Hashtag bad to the bone. She's the bad man. Another pet peeve of mine stems back to my Jungle Cruise days. Actually, the new Jungle Cruise movie launches next Friday, July 24th, and they got The Rock to play me. Anyway, as part of my Jungle Cruise training, we were taught if anyone falls or anyone looks like they're injured in some way, we are to ask 3 times, "Do you need medical assistance?" So one day they were loading guests into my boat. We call them guests, not passengers. And this first gentleman, he was a portly one, he somehow missed or tripped on that first step and face planted right down directly in front of me. Now, I was already ready to go. I was already mic'd up. I was plugged into the intercom system for the whole boat. I was just so startled. I said, "Oh my God, sir, are you okay? Do you need medical assistance?" So just in case anyone within a 50-foot radius didn't know what happened, I just totally called attention to this man. He quickly replies, "No, I don't need medical assistance," gets up, he sits right next to me, so embarrassed, clearly, and just wants this moment to pass as quickly as possible. But then I come back with round 2 and say to him, while still plugged in, "Sir, are you sure you don't need medical assistance?" He peered up at me with a death stare. He said, "No, I don't need medical assistance." The combination of embarrassment and anger at this point was a toxic combination. I could see he was ready to burst. He was trying so hard to keep it together. I know what he wanted to say was, "Let it go, Jungle Cruise man. Just let it go." Why am I sounding like Bill Burr? I guess it's because we're both from Boston. "You keep up at it like this, you're going to end up in the bottom of the river." But you know what I had to do next. I was a no-strings-attached, Disney-certified cast member who was required to ask 3 times, "Do you need medical assistance?" So just before I put the throttle down and headed off into the Amazon, I asked one last time, "Do you need medical assistance?" So now all eyes are on him. Everyone's waiting with bated breath. Everyone there in the boat, everyone on the dock, everyone in the queue. He looks up at me and says, "You're a jerk." I said, "No, I'm not a jerk. I can be, but I'm not." Whatever that means. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more funny videos like this, click the subscribe button. New episodes launch each Monday. The more you know.